So this video I've got here is going to be my gold guide, how I make gold and the main ways I go about keeping a high level of gold. So you can check out these different sections, you can click on them and it'll fast track you to the sections that you click on. I guess we'll start off with just showing you how much gold I do have. So this is my main character, my feral druid. I've currently got 816,000 gold, which is, you know, it's pretty good. It's more than a lot of people have in Cataclysm. I have had a lot of that since the Burning Crusade, since Wrath of the Lich King, and even since Vanilla. So it's not just come out of nowhere. I have gradually built up this amount of gold. Right, so let's move on and go to some of the ways that I do get it. So these are going to be the main gathering professions I use: skinning, leatherworking, mining and smelting. We'll start off with skinning. So skinning and leatherworking go hand in hand. When you're skinning these darkwood lurkers, the main place to do it's in Barradin Hold. They will drop, when you skin them, 1 savage leather. If you're lucky you'll get 2. And with that savage leather, after you have 5 of them, you can craft them into a heavy savage leather. Now, once you've got a stack of heavy savage leather, you can, I'd say, sell it for a minimum of 350 gold on the auction house. Maximum I've ever sold one for was just over 1,000. It was a very short supply. And you can see with this mob, the guild perk allows me to pick up more than 1 piece of savage leather. So this really speeds up the rate of return from skinning these mobs. I say you get 40 savage leathers every 15 minutes as an average, and you do get these extras. So in the pouch here I've got a volatile water which I can now use for enchanting, or I could even sell the stack that I do have on the auction house. Everything makes you gold. Now next up we have mining and smelting. Now mining and smelting work in the same way that skinning and leatherworking do. So you're flying around an area. So for example, I've got this route set in Twilight Highlands, and now this is the exact route I use. I do this maybe once or twice a day whilst watching an episode of, I don't know, Game of Thrones for example. And this gets you about 30 ores per 15 minutes, which is a great return rate. You can see here the materials that you need to make 1 bar, and then with a bar you create a stack, and then with the stack you can then go to the auction house and make some gold, which is what it's all about. So if you follow this all the way around, you get plenty of elementium, and you probably get 2 pyrite ores per route. So each time you go around it, they do respawn, but they do respawn in different places. So once you learn the route, you know whereabouts they respawn. So hey, I've got some pyrite, and you can see the crafting materials needed for me to make a bar, and now I can go to the auction house. Now next up we've got valor points. Valor points are a really easy way for people to make some gold. Here I've got 2 examples. One's Cavern's Forsaken Treads, which were 1650 points. They're currently selling on my realm for 4,200 gold. Next up you've got the Chrono Boost Braces, 1,250 points, worth 10,000 gold, and they do sell. You do the maths and tell me which one's the better one to buy and sell. So now we've got transmog items. Now these are items that you might have lying around or that you can go and farm. So go to an instance that people have popular gear from, that they like the transmog look, and pick it up. Very easy to get and very easy to sell. I sold this shield for 10,000 gold. So let's look at collectible items, companions and mounts. First off we're going to look at these 4 companions. Now they're obtained during the Christmas festival, and the best thing to do with them is to hold them for later on in the year and then sell them at a much higher price, sometimes upward of 200 gold each, and they do sell. Now let's move on to mounts, where I'll slow it down a bit for you. So first off we've got the Vial of Sands. This is a mount, and the pattern it's obtained via archaeology, and it's only found in canopic jars. Now these are quite easy to get if you keep farming it. Again, it's a matter of putting as much time as possible into it. Now we've got Reigns of Poseidus. This mount drops from a mob, but unfortunately this mob only spawns once or twice a week. Now I've caught this once and I sold it on for 50,000 gold, but I do know a few people who have caught it and kept it as well as sold it on. But you have to be quick because this is a very hunted mount. Next up on this list you've got a woolly white rhino. Now this is obtained via the trading card game, not something I'm interested in as it's never made any gold for me. But if you've got one lying around, you should sell it. Now the Crimson Death Charger is not something I've had the pleasure of getting my hands on, but I have seen it drop and I know how to get it. It's very simple. All you need to do is do a Lich King run with somebody on the last part of the Shadowmourne quest. As well as getting the Death Charger, you'll also get a trinket which allows you to turn into a Frost Dwarf. I'm sure you've seen it around, and you get a few other things which are quite cool. They usually sell for the price that you can see there on my screen, so it's a pretty good item to farm, possibly weekly, if you've got a group that's willing to help you do that. Now next up you've got one of the easiest ways that I've made money recently. I've sold 14 of these during the event and after the event. I've now got none left as I've sold them all. But this is the Swift Lovebird. For only 270 tokens during the Valentine's Day event, you can get this bird, and you can get it as many times as you want. It's completely BOE. You can sell it via trade, you can sell it on the auction house. Like I said, 14 I've sold. I think they all averaged about 8,000 gold, so that was a big amount of money to add to my already quite large pot. This is the easiest way to make money in this game. It's stupidly easy, it should be nerfed, but it's not. If there was ever an exploit in this game to get gold, this is definitely it. If you want me to do a more in-depth and slower guide on different ways of making money, I've got plenty more, then please leave a comment and give me a suggestion. So I've tried to make this video as short and easy to watch as possible. If you liked it, please rate, comment and possibly subscribe. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you did, I'll give you a cookie.